billion exactly, but mine was plus 20, so I still got a better deal. Any cheaper ones? Wow, there's one for 10 billion. Oh my days. I mean, it is fair play, it is plus 8 only, but still, it's 10 billion. 410 penetration. To be fair, with the amount of safeguards that I have, I wonder what's... Well, first of all, what's preventing me from buying this, putting it to plus 20 and then selling it for a markup, is that I don't have 10 billion. Nah, I need to take this away. I just made myself a little bit sadder because I maybe found a better deal. Crest of Skies, man, I still didn't get on working with my Crest of Skies. I was supposed to do it during the events or right after the events. I think we'll do a farming session and we just need to figure out the rough cost. How much it would cost me to build perfect link effects. Like the Crest of Life, Crest of Earth, and Crest of Sky. The Crest of Life one I think is fairly okay for now. Because look, if I put my buffs on, this is how my critical rate looks like. 84 out of 85. So, you know, for this build, it's okay. Obviously, when we're gonna be exchanging the armor, we're gonna, like, redo the whole build. I won't have critical rates on my orbs anymore. I will have all the critical rates on my helmet. Because here, the problem is that the epic option is critical damage. That means I need to make some critical rate from somewhere else. And I think either amp... Like, a critical rate does not fit on the weapons. I don't think so. Because amp is like extremely good choice. And then I guess maybe even critical damage is okay. Because to be fair, like your helmets and your rings should almost carry all of the critical rate that you need. And then for example here on the suit I do have an option to add 3 more max critical rates. Which I might use when I'm rebuilding the whole character. But yeah, like the serious rebuild is gonna take a long time. And at least one very good drop. So we need to focus on the easier stuff. I think the easiest way to go would be just to find some really good players and have them link their crest to us and we just copy them. You know, that's one way to do it. Also, we can quickly admire the pet progress. Look at this, only 2 max crit rates. Left to go and we are chilling. And then for this final trust rank, I'll just wait for the event to provide us with a ton of pet and train kits. Also, big news, I did log in yesterday and I've seen Serum of Earth. Yesterday it was 6 million, something like that. So look at this, it's going even further down than that. 5.8. And back in the day I clocked it at 9.5. During the event, this used to cost like 13 million each. So you can see why it's so important to actually keep a look on the market every single day just to familiarize yourself with the prices. Because the prices can jump like double and triple, and you can also have double or triple discounts. And yeah, now Serum of Earth compared to when there was an event, it's literally like 70% discount. I wonder how much stain clones are costing. Hold up, let's check. Maybe we could make some Gaia amulets today. 2 million. For 1 stain clone. Yeah, I'm never gonna buy it. I will do what I have to, use my force gems to do premium runs, and stack off so many stain clones you wouldn't even believe it. Maybe I can single-handed... Wait, hold up. Guys, I didn't even think this. Let's add stain clones. I don't need to write the price of them, because I know what's the good price and what's not. I wonder, can I single-handedly lower the price of the stain clones in the server? And that's definitely a very, very strong and hard thing to do. But hear me out. Premium entries right now are fairly difficult to collect, right? Because we don't get them from the daily rewards anymore. We get very cool Agent Yule bracelets, which I obviously love. I do need them right now. And every single time I try to save them for the 4 hours that I'm gonna be doing like extra hard dungeons. But there's no premium ones, right? Yeah, we could, in theory, use our coupons and we could maybe get like 1 or 2 premium entries from time to time. Here's what I'm thinking. Let me see if I remember this. If I remember this, I'm a Cabal Pro. Let's do Minesta 28. No, let's just type 28. Go. Yeah, look at this. I am a pro. So I think I just need to buy a couple of these. Of these, look at the price of them. Holy moly, 3 million. But here with the quest, you basically pay 3 million for the quest and you get 5 stain clones. Let's see, maybe there's some other cheaper options. This one is 4 million. Oh my days. Something is definitely happening with the stain clones. Catacomb Frost 2.8, Lava Hellfire 2.8. I mean, it's still at least, it's like so freaking much cheaper just to buy these, get the stain clones that way. But I thought if I legit were to use my force gems to do premium runs, I would drop a lot of these anyways. Then I could just use them and just make a massive stain clone farm. Because when I woke up today, I thought about doing hard dungeons, but now I'm thinking, this is a good opportunity, man. I mean, this is a really, really good opportunity. As we can see, stain clones are reaching almost 2 million a piece, which is like almost a record price. And by lowering the price, I could just make a ton of owls in the process. You know, I would sell my stain clones for markup, so basically like 1.8 mil. And keep putting so many on the market that hopefully people stop buying and the price just drops. And if it ever drops to like 1.2 or something like that, then I myself would actually start buying them. I can already see, like, look at this guy. This guy alone, ALXXXXX, is selling over 160 of them. This guy is selling 250 of them. So the market is filled for stain clones at this price. Also, it's really good that we're doing this now, because super big tip. You see this time right here, 9:19? Well, this is basically... Ooh, someone got a jewel. Man, people weren't lying, eh? The jewels are dropping today. But yeah, this is the server time. And we know that at 11 o'clock, the monkey is gonna reset. And then basically a lot of people are gonna need some stain clones to gamble on. And this is where I think the big boom of buying stain clones really happens. Yeah, hold up. I actually really like this idea. First, I want to see, maybe I do have some Minestas just lying somewhere, so I don't need to buy them for quite a big evaluations. Yeah, I do not. Okay. Okay, so we will be forced to spend a little bit of money. It still should pay off. Okay, let's do 3 of each. 3 of Panic Cave Premium. Bruh, streamers crazy for 4 million a piece. I mean, that's a little bit outrageous. I'm not gonna lie, that is a little bit outrageous, and buying this for this price, it seems so bad. You know, I'm having trouble forcing my hand to actually press the buy button on this one. But anyways, we'll do it, and we'll hope that this actually, while doing the premium runs, we can actually farm our own Minestas from now on. Okay, premium Catacomb Frost. There we go, look at this, much better price. 3 of these. And Lava Hellfire. Again, much better price, 3 of these. So how I usually used to do this is equipped 1 of each quest. It's gonna make it so much easier. Also, look at this Thermican bracelets, 44 mil. The cheapest I clocked was 41. And this is where I actually bought quite a few of them. The highest price so far, 58 I've seen. What is this HP Absorb rune? Much more expensive than before. This is gonna be the Tempus ring, which did get a lot cheaper, as you can see, by 33 mil. I wonder if it's gonna go even cheaper than that. Ignore Penetration, 50 mil cheaper than last time clocked. Oh, and these attack rate runes, look at this. They are clocked at 4.3 million each, which is exactly the price right now. Yesterday, I bought 80 of them for around 3 million each. And today the price is back up. Because in total, I need like almost 100 of them. I still don't have all of them collected, but most of them has been collected. So you see why it's so freaking good to use these thingies just to mark the item and the price, highs and lows. Hey Cenk, you're making a new video. What dungeon next? Man, this is gonna be exciting. Will I actually manage to reduce the price of stain clones on the server? Man, I really don't know. I feel a little bit OP doing the premium runs, but man, they should pay so freaking good. Not without cost though. It is gonna cost 10 force gems to enter one of these. So I don't know, it might be that we're gonna spend a ton of force gems this episode, but if we do make a ton of stain clones, I guess it's worth it. Especially now that you cannot really get the premium entries that easy. And to be fair, I've never actually Only at the start of the server, I did this, using Force Gems to basically just buy the premium runs and see if it's worth it. And when first time I did it, as soon as I joined the server, it wasn't worth it. But now with this kind of price, let's keep in mind we can always drop maybe something like a Master Seal from these dungeons. I don't know, maybe it's good. At least it doesn't sound like a very bad idea, you know? But we'll need to actually do it and see how it plays out. Because I think Cabal is basically like a market game. Yeah, you can grind whatever you want, or you can like spend a little bit of time thinking about, looking around, you know, what's happening in the game, and maybe you can find some opportunities. Okay, so one of this is done. We basically need to do one of each, given all of the quests, and then basically take all of the quests and then do one of each. This is like the least annoying way to do this. Because imagine every single run you finish, you have to go back to Port Lux, give in the quest, take a new one, and then go back to your dungeon. That would be just time-consuming and inefficient. That's not what we're all about. Also, my old monitor, I don't know if you see any change in quality whatsoever. I borrowed a very, very old monitor just because my new one, the AOC one, has stopped working. I don't know, maybe it's due to the cold, but the house is not cold. Something is wrong, because it already took my AOC monitor to just like warm up the pixels. As soon as you turn it on, it's like all green and stuff. You have to wait a little bit, and then it comes back to normal. And the last few days it didn't go back to normal. Like, I'll share the screenshots in my Discord, how my monitor looks. So yeah, I borrowed this super old one. And it literally feels like I'm back at like 2010s, because the monitor is probably even older than that. And weirdly enough, it makes Cabal look even much better, like for me personally. But I don't know if you as the viewer will see any kind of difference, you know? Let's see. Okay, couple Luminous Souls, I'll take it. Also, the Weaker Palette of Dead is a big one, right? Because we can farm so much Stain Clones doing that dungeon. As you can see, World Boss is gonna be happening in 1 minute. Normally, it's like really, really good idea to join the World Boss. It only happens 2 times a day, 9:30 in the morning and maybe 9:30 in the evening. But yeah, for me personally, I don't know, I don't really like the World Boss too much, especially as a wizard. When I was a gladiator, yes. If you're playing a very unpopular class, you must do World Boss, because the World Boss rewards are calculated in a way where least popular classes get the best chance for like the biggest rewards. And I think it goes like this. If you're a wizard, you're basically competing against any other wizard that's also doing the World Boss at the same time. If you're a gladiator, you're competing with all of the other gladiators that are doing the World Boss at the same time. And there's not a lot of gladiators, or like Force Shielders. So therefore, you usually do get a little bit better rewards. And there's like a ton of wizards and Force Archers and DMs, so the rewards are not gonna be as good. But you can always get lucky, you know? Okay, so 40 Force Gems spent. Basically all I have is 20 Bind Stain Clones in return. And sometimes, like, they can fail as well. So let's say from the 20 bind ones, we're either gonna make 20 or 15 unbind ones. Let me show you exactly how it works. And then we'll have completed one full cycle. There go Stain Clone sets. As you can see, I have 29 character bind Stain Clones, so just request all. And look at this, 4 of them succeeded, 1 of them failed. Out of 4 of those that did succeed, I do get 20 unbind Stain Clones, which I can sell on the market. I will absolutely do that. The ones that are binded, just use for yourself, you know? But if you're selling, you always have to unbind, and there's like an extra chance of failure. Okay, now we just repeat this whole process all over again. I am hoping to actually drop these Minestas, because that's the thing, the Minesta price is so freaking crazy expensive that I can already feel this is not worth doing if we have to buy the Minestas. If we drop enough of them, okay, maybe it's worth doing. But yeah, Stain Clones are at record prices, so I will find one way or the another to make a ton of them. Just boost my profits a little bit. Again, nothing super fancy, just 2 Luminous Soul. Which is good, 1 Luminous Soul is basically 2 Stain Clones. So from that perspective it is good. And man, with the wizard, it really doesn't matter what kind of dungeon you do. It's gonna be easy to do. Just because you're so maneuverable and flexible, you know, in any kind of situation. I guess the true disadvantage is like true late game dungeons where there's only like single target bosses. And that's it, you know, in the whole dungeon. Just because there's other classes who deal with single target bosses much better than a wizard. But in terms of just hitting like a lot of minions at the same time, really you cannot get better than a wizard. Just blink and AoE attacks. Perfect combo. There we go, to soul. Nothing much more than that. I don't know, it definitely feels like a sketchy strategy to actually use force gems for the premium runs. But it's also gonna serve as a experiment, right? Because as you can see, I do have a lot of force gems. Just because now I've just been way more calculated with my resource spendings than before. Also, I no longer buy Orbs of Dragon, neither for the white troglodyte fruits, nor for the force gems. So that's one reason why I have so many force gems and so many white troglodyte fruit. Look at this, 347. And the only thing I did is stopped buying Orbs of Dragon, you know? And I think it was a very good decision. If I had done it from the start, man, I would have like 12,000 force gems right now. And like 2 full stacks of white troglodyte fruits. Because yeah, we don't know what's, you know, coming further. But I think a honor rank increase. So from honor 20 max to maybe honor 30. It could be sometime in the future. Probably a distant future, but still. Because keep in mind, I can actually exchange this white gold fruit for honor potions if I want to. I could also exchange it for Force Wing XP as well, which I do need right now. I don't know, I kind of want to wait for the honor. It seems a better deal to trade in for honor than for Force Wing potions. There we go, nothing too useful here. Man, this instructor looks so good. Do you guys remember how the old one used to look? Especially playing this on like a very old monitor, it feels like I'm genuinely living in a different universe. You know, I'm back in the good old days of good OG Cabal, but it's just somehow much newer and much better looking. Did it work last time? Yeah, it's probably not even too worth doing it now. Because this is the unique thing, right? Not only that the Stain Clone price has skyrocketed, but also these quests at the same time. And this plan only works if we don't need to buy the quests. If you know, throughout like 3 runs we farm more than enough to just have a quest for every single dungeon. Well, premium dungeon. And in that way we only spend force gems while doing these dungeons. But now we're spending force gems and alls to get just slightly a bit more for Stain Clones. But then again, we have to craft them, and there's always a chance that you can fail. And I don't know, I think you're gonna fail 1 out of 5. So let's say 80% success rate. I don't know if it's actually that good. Are we gonna make money? Yeah, man, having a bunch of new people in your guild is literally the best thing ever. You know, you kind of also play through their progress as well. Like, as you can see, Zazu is still figuring out the ropes. He's starting Stellar, he's starting his gold insignia. Man, exciting times. And for example, me, who's already been playing at the server for like over 7 months, my dopamine levels are already like skyrocketing, you know? If I wanna upgrade, let's say, my platinum insignia, I need to collect resources for a long time, just so I can make a good enough upgrade session. You know, just unlocking like 1 slot is not good enough for me. No, I wanna unlock like half of the tree at once, you know? And that's how I prefer to do my upgrades. Just collect a lot of something and then do it, you know, instead of little by little. Whereas before, my strategy used to be just increase the combat power every single day, no matter by how little. So even just like 100 or like 10 combat power, that's good. You're already stronger than you were yesterday. Okay, not a single good drop so far, apart from these luminous souls, but you know, they only drop in stacks of 2, so it's like still good, but definitely nothing spectacular. There we go. Oh, look at this, 2 Minestas dropped. Now this is what I'm talking about. Look at this, Minesta 28 and Minesta 30. If it keeps dropping like this, maybe we can talk. At that point, maybe we can talk. I will have another side quest to think about. Look at this, in the event pass, we already have pet change kits. and it's gonna change to Pet Rudolph. Now, I'm not sure if I want Rudolph. Now I have the Golden Dragon, as you can see. But it's definitely something to think about. Rudolph would have been nice before Christmas. I definitely would have used it. Just, you know, to get into a little bit more of a Christmas spirit. But I don't know, now it's kinda, you know, that period is gone. Maybe just keep that Rudolph for next year. The good thing is with the new episode, every single monster, like normal monster, has changed, right? They look much better now. So same goes for the normal pets. Like Pet Garly looks so much better now than it used to look, you know, before. So maybe not into Rudolph, but maybe I should change my pet into something else. If I can find like a super cute one. The Golden Dragon is already nice. I originally bought it for this costume. Let me show you. Yeah, this is the costume I bought it for. Because as you can see, it matches really, really nicely. And I like to match as many things as I can in a single costume. Then we have this one, my basically all-time favorite, with just a regular QE7. This one is probably my least favorite of what I made. You know, it kind of looks like shit, to be fair. I don't know. It does have some potential, but something in this costume really needs to change. I like the white ghosts. I like the orb. I don't know, maybe I like the headpiece and maybe I like the suit, but there's something missing. You know, there is something missing. I definitely like the color scheme here, but yeah, this needs to be upgraded. That's why I'm not using it now. Then this costume, I think it's like my second favorite. With like his own like little cool mount. Kinda gives me Heroes of Might and Magic vibes. And this is what we're rocking now. Which just looks like, if I were ever turn to the dark side and start PvPing or PKing people, this is the costume to do it. You know, this is the costume to go to war. Because you do look menacing, you know? Okay, so let's craft the stain clones. Let's see how many of them will fail. Not too bad, 7 succeeded, only 1 failed. And look at this, another guildie has dropped a Violet Jewel. Wow, jewels are dropping, definitely. There we go, 55 stain clones. So that's what, like 100 mil? Okay, maybe this is not too bad. Guys, what do you think? Not too freaking bad. Theoretically, we made 100 mil already. With everything, we spend like at most 20 million plus the Forge Gems. Which you would try, if you were to try to convert the Forge Gems into alts, we cannot have possibly spent any more than like 40 million in like general currency. And we made 100 and something mil. I don't know, I think this is a good deal. I think the deal is a good deal. Also 6 Luminous Souls. That's an extra 12 character buying stain clones. Okay, let's see. So we have 28, we have 30, and then another stack of 28 and 30. So we do need to buy the rest still. And we need to buy the Lava Hellfire ones. Look at this, someone actually made a 10 billion gamble? How? Why? At this stage in the game, 10 billion gamble? There's no freaking way. Oh, he tried to make these ones. He tried to make them to plus 20 by himself. Man, even I, look at this. I don't have plus 20 ones. If he stopped at plus 19, he would have been so good. Because plus 19 Altar Arcanas, they cost 4.5 billion each. That's a crazy amount, but if you actually succeed them to plus 20, the price immediately jumps to 12 billion each. And that's why, you know, I'm sticking to plus 19, not going to plus 20. But for characters so early on in the game, I kind of get the reasoning. You know, you want to max out the Arcanas so you can kind of forget about them and just focus on other stuff. And I used the strategy before as well, but I mean, look at this, you know, this should be exchanged to Sigmetal first. This Lapis Orb has to go immediately. At worst case scenario, be replaced with Paladinium, but Paladinium is 2 slots, so it's not worth it. So just go for Demonite 2 slots. He has much better amulet than me though. I really need to gamble on those amulets, but not when stain clones are so expensive. Today we'll start from scratch again. Oh my days. I'm out here just like chilling, you know, calmly collecting my stain clones. And I can imagine like me and this guy have completely different playstyles for today. I bet he's stressed. He's nervous, he's anxious, he's also excited at the same time. Well, I'm just as chill as it can be, you know? As chill as a butterfly. Well, I hope butterflies are pretty chill. I don't really know exactly. But I mean, you must be chill. You only live for so long, you know? So probably don't even know what's going on. Imagine if we humans only lived to like up to 5 years old. We wouldn't even know that we lived, you know? Look at this. He's only playing his character for 14 days. And to be fair with the gamble that he's taken, to have this much in 14 days, that's actually still very good. Holy moly. If he actually managed to succeed his gamble, I would be jealous. You know, because I'm playing for 7 months, even I don't have plus 20 Arcanas. And people playing for like 2 weeks already managed to attain them. And I achieved 10 billion without lucky drops. Gamble less, dungeons more. I think that's the main reason why I like the server, because you can literally buy everything you need with just dungeon points. Well, mostly everything you need. So as long as you just keep grinding dungeons, you're constantly making profits. Unlike in the official, where you have to buy the entries and they cost, you can actually make a minus after doing a dungeon, which is like nothing, and nobody wants that, you know? Surely nobody wants that. Also, I think as soon as you join, getting like alts, drop runes, stuff like that, I think it's also very important. Because for me, as you can see, I already have it covered. There we go. Alts drop chance, drop rate, and alts bomb chance. I don't know, I think over time, they add up to a lot of alts. Like a ton of alts, to be fair. And the earlier you do it, well then the more value you take from it, you know? And as you can see, this guy basically does the dungeons, uses his DP for potions of enchantment or pet and train kits or whatever, and just sells them on the market. And this way you make a very, very consistent profit, no matter what kind of drops you get. And look at this, he's not even selling potions of enchantment now because it's 8 million a piece. 8 million is, you know, somewhere around the average price for those potions of enchantments. The lowest I've ever seen them was 7.7 mil. And the highest I've ever seen them was 8.6 mil. Or no, 8.8, I believe. Of course, I haven't been looking their price, you know, on purpose. It's just like if I accidentally spot it, I remember it. Those are basically the prices. The reason it doesn't work for me, because I always have to gamble on something. Well, not have to, but I do anyways. And so, for example, even if I were to use my DP for like pet and train kits or whatever, I'm gonna use those pet and train kits on myself. You know what I mean? During the event period, we did manage to get our honor medal. And look at this, now it's literally perfect. I had some comments saying that ignore penetration here is actually a little bit better than intelligence. I don't know. It could be maybe, but also maybe not. You know, I'm not convinced on that one. The ignore penetration is a good stat, but intelligence, this is what intelligence gives to you. Magic attack, resist critical rate, damage, resist skill amp, knockback, and stun. So a lot of good stats. I don't know, I kind of feel like intelligence is a little bit better. But yeah, this looks very, very nice. Also, one comment said, man, I'm so unlucky, I always get like 1 out of 10, 2 out of 10, and you have 10 out of 10. Well, it's not how it works. You only need to get the slot itself. Once you upgrade this line over here by doing wars and stuff like that, this is automatically gonna upgrade. You see what I mean? Because look at this, all of these are 4 out of 7. Once I fill this line, they will become 5 out of 7. I hope that makes sense, you know? So you're only gambling just for the slot itself. And then, you know, these thingies are gonna fill over time. Just keep doing war and stuff like that. Okay, another section done. Gimme those stain clones. Man, this is fun. It seems very efficient. Especially that now I have started dropping a few of these Minestas. So you don't need to rely on buying them. 29, 31, 28, and 30. There we go. We already have 2 Minestas over here. Shirak kinda wants to buy Unsealed Stone. I can actually provide it to him. Because I do have some Cabal cash. Stat Reset Potion. Oh, that's something new. I think, right? I've never seen this before. Yeah, it says sale and new. Nice. Okay, wait, so hold up. Let me not mess this up. He wants to unseal this one. Armor account bind unseal stone. Armor account bind seal stone. So this one is already sealed. We need to unseal it. Let's buy one. And the voucher price is 387. We're doing half. It would be like 190. Plus we need to do a guildie discount as well. There we go. We'll do 40 million guild discount as well. You always do guild discounts, you know? Everyone does for their guilds. There you go, another 150 maids. You know, this is what guilds are for, you know? We help each other, we build each other. Now I will work harder. Yeah, he will be able to do these dungeons much quicker with the new helmet. Will be promoted. Okay, I know this is very relaxing and all, but the drop is getting way too relaxed. I don't see a single Minesta being dropped, not a single jewel. If this dungeon were to drop jewels, it would be 20 million each. By the way, you are the reason 90% of us are playing here. Well, maybe I brought you in, but the server itself is what makes everyone stay, you know what I mean? Because it was same exact thing for me. People just constantly said, bro, you have to check out the server. And literally the first day that I did, everything changed. You know, I was like, man, I want to play this server long term, like years upon years. Then the server staff is exactly the same. Oh, we need to get this guy playing our server years after years. So, you know, everything just kind of clicked perfectly, you know? And I love it. This is literally the best private server, you know, up to a point that we are beating officials. And I think this chart is only gonna increase. You know, official servers are gonna slowly but surely die out, while this one is gonna strive. Can't wait to get into crafting my own gear. Kind of gives me an idea. Let's think about this. Maybe sooner or later, Craftsman's Demonite is gonna appear in game. So it could be potentially just crafted, you know? Craftsman's and Masters maybe even. What if then, once that happens, all of the other Demonite orbs are gonna be so much cheaper that are not Craftsman's or Masters? That could be a really good opportunity for me then, you know, to try and go for the orbs. There we go, Minesta finally dropped. Take it. And all of the elites will be done. Streamer's Crazy is the last one. I think this could serve as a guide even, you know, a very efficient way, if the time is right, of exchanging your force gems into alls, just by doing premium runs, because now it's the perfect way, because we don't get premium runs from the daily reward for now, which means the whole server is doing a whole lot less of these than usual. Come on, give me a master seal for the final drop. How nice would that be? A lot of upgrade cores, and that's pretty much it. Damn. Okay, let's see how many stain clones we can actually craft. Last time was very good. 7 succeeded and only 1 failed. Let's see. Now just look at this. Much worse. Out of 8, 5 succeeded and 3 failed. But it is what it is. It's part of the game. Okay, so in total I have 80 stain clones. This is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna spread them in stacks of 5. So we need 5 on each stack. 16 stacks. There we go, we put it on the market. 148 mil. And let's see, it costed me 200 force gems that costed me, plus a little bit of alls for the Minestas. Let's say like 30 million for the Minestas, so at least 100 plus is pure profit. And the reason I do it in stacks of 5, because in 50 minutes, this shop is gonna reset 45 minutes. And as you can see, look at this, you can actually use 5 stain clones to buy 3 gold fruits. Now, in my opinion, when stain clones are so freaking expensive, it's not a good deal. Especially once I have like a ton of gold fruits and not enough of stain clones. But I will happily sell it to other people. And I think in 45 minutes, it's gonna sell. And it's gonna sell quick, as soon as that time hits. But yeah, guys, not a bad little chill session, eh? Again, I think obviously farming Vika Paulet of Dead is even more efficient than this, but that's the issue. You know, I don't have Vika Paulet of Dead entries, so I'm pretty happy with what we made so far. Now, as always, if you do want to play PlayCabal for yourself, I do have my ref link in the description below. If you create your account using that link, it does help me, because as you can see, sometimes I do get a little bit of Cabal cash. And, you know, I usually just use it to progress my character just a little bit faster. But yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.